Hey guys, King Shaka here, back again with another video. This time, as I stated before, we're starting a new series, and we're starting off with the Shounen genre. So we're going to talk about Shounen. So if you're interested in getting into anime and you're interested about the Shounen genre, well, this video is the only thing you'll need. So let's go ahead and dive right in. When people Google search Shounen anime, they see anime such as One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Z, and Naruto Shippuden, where the main protagonist becomes this OP god of some sort that can one-shot everyone, or at least kick everyone's ass regardless of their special ability, and defeats all opponents standing in his way, except for, of course, there happens to be one opponent that the protagonist doesn't defeat or loses against or fights at a later time due to progressing the plot and whatnot. At most, the main protagonist will face 1 or 2 losses, or in the case of One Punch Man, 0 losses, but everyone hates him because he's OP, but that's for another story. Also, for some reason, in every shonen anime, well, 98% of them, the main protagonist changes a certain color, either by skin pigmentation, hair, or some aura around him that's either golden of some sort. And, that may sound dandy and all. You got yourself an anime where, there's a lot of action, there's plot development, and golden hair, but that's not always the case. In fact, a lot of shonen anime can take quite a while to develop the plot. They could be as short as 13 episodes or as extensive as 780 episodes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Some anime can't decide to go down, so they have to last for 780 plus episodes. Talking about One Piece here. But besides the point, even if the anime is not 780, it could still take a while for that anime to develop their main character due to how long the anime episodes actually are. They can range from that 13, or they could be 50 or 24. It's usually a mixed bag within the shonen genre. So the main character, he's either really weak, then becomes really strong due to plot development, someone dying and then transferring their power over to him, or their will to become the strongest there is, or Hokage or something. So the main character is not always strong. In fact, the main character most of the time is very weak or underpowered, who a badass character then, who is stronger than the main character, trains the main character to become a strong and badass through either transferring a power or just training them. So overall, the main protagonist is kind of not that interesting of a character in a lot of cases. In fact, the main character will be surrounded by side characters or other main characters, but not the main protagonists, who actually have very interesting backstories and actually have interesting character development. However, they are not spread over 10 episodes. Their character development or their background is more of, they have a special episode only dedicated to that character, or everything is just explained right up front. So overall, it is the main character, but you're going to have to watch the shonen for the action. If you watch shonen for a lot of plot development, you're going to find that a lot of them are missing really good plot development, and the longer ones are like 100 episodes or so. But the anime, though, that hit that sweet spot to me of 50 episodes have a lot better plot development because you have a shorter time frame to actually develop your plot. So ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be looking at anime such as Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, those overly long animes that can get people confused because there's so much damn filler. But no, we're going to focus on the my five shonen anime that you, ladies and gentlemen, who are new to the anime scene, should watch. These anime are a variety. They're not very similar in any way besides just being classified as shonen. So let's go ahead and start with our first anime, and boy, are the poses real in this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, you guessed right. The first anime that we're going to talk about is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This has everything you need out of a shonen genre. You have burly men, you have stands, you have poses. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, no anime has better poses than JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I dare you to find a more iconic anime that has better poses than JoJo's. I will wait. Couldn't find one? I didn't think so. Anyway, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is exactly how it sounds. It follows a JoJo who is part of the Joestar family line, and each season follows that JoJo through a variety of events and a grand adventure that ultimately leads to the character developing into a better state than what they were previously. The character seems to learn a little bit more about themselves and how they interact with people. So overall, this anime is definitely something you want to watch, especially this anime does not pull the punches on the feels as well as the action. This anime has action in almost every scene. It's a bizarre adventure. There's crazy characters. It's very colorful, and you never really get bored with this anime because each season is a completely different JoJo. So for some people, that might turn them off because they want to follow the same JoJo throughout the entire series. Well, I'm sorry. Each season's a brand new JoJo, and they move along within actually the history of a world. You start back into the late 1800s, and then of course you have the immigration to America, which a lot of people did from New England or England, and then we have now a new JoJo, and then we progress later in the 20th century. So it's a progressive thing. It goes further down the storyline of JoJo's, and in fact, in the first opening for JoJo's, it actually goes backwards within the storyline. That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. If you slow down the first 7 seconds, all those are manga clippings, and they go from each JoJo down to the first JoJo that we follow, which is Jonathan Joestar, the main protagonist we have in season 1, who then goes to his grandson Joseph Joestar in season 2, and then his grandson Jotaro Kujo, and it's like, whoa, his last name's not Joestar. Well, if you watch the anime, ladies and gentlemen, you understand why his last name is different. And then most recently, we're now on Josuke. I can't remember his last name, but his name is Josuke, so he's JoJo in my eyes. So they all begin with J. If they don't begin with J, then it's a lie. But anyway, this anime, you gotta watch it. It's a great one to start off with if you want something crazy, colorful, and poses. I cannot stress the amazingness that the poses. But let's go ahead and move on to the next anime. And this anime only needs one word. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so obviously we're talking about here. This anime is completely different than your typical shonen anime. In fact, there's a lot of plot development, there's a lot of character development like we see in other shonen anime such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dragon Ball Z, and so on and so forth. However, this one, action-wise, is a little bit different. We follow our main protagonist, Mikado Ryogamine, who ends up in this new city called Ikebukuro. This is a downtown section of Tokyo, but it's relatively small. And he meets his long lost friend, well, not really lost, but they've been separated for quite a while, Masumi. So you think, starting off, first 5 minutes, pretty normal. You may even think it's a slice of life anime, and then you realize that there's a lot more to this anime than you realize. This anime has kidnappings, headless horsemen or riding bikes, weird doctors who like said horsemen, really weird, flipping swords that turn people into zombies and then try to kill other people, a man who throws refrigerators across the city because he hates this one guy called Izaya. Well, this anime is all about gangs, violence, typical Tokyo stuff we see every single day. So what makes this anime so special? What classifies this as shonen? Well, we have our main protagonist, alright? He's a male, that's step 1. Step 2, he's kind of a little bit of a bitch, but you know, so are most of them, except for obviously JoJos. But you know, his steps 2, he fits that profile quite well. Step 3, he has an interesting friend who is kind of a spaz, but actually has a very interesting background that is a lot better than Mikado's. So that's step 3. And of course, step 4, we don't see him become all too powerful in the sense that we see in shonen anime. You know, he doesn't become OP due to someone dying and transferring their power to him. No, in fact, he becomes more influential as the anime goes on. Now, he doesn't, of course, create this almighty mafia empire, but he does form a gang called the Dollars. They do not form themselves within a color. In fact, if I was to put them to a color, their color is gray. Because besides what's very interesting within this anime is, besides the main characters that we see, or point of interest characters, a lot of characters are gray. They blend in with society, and the anime at a certain point even points that out, that the Dollars is indeed everyone, because everyone no longer becomes gray, they become their own individual person. So, you know, besides the yellow scarves and the blue squares, who are all, you know, rainbow flipping gangs here, the Dollars are gray. So it kind of tell you that you don't know who's in the Dollars, or let alone who the hell you're talking to. So there's a lot of plot manipulation that goes on, and that is really the main focus of this plot, is manipulation of some kind, bending someone to your own will, whether that's physical violence or psychological trauma. So definitely an anime you need to check out if you're not really looking for someone with a lot of fighting and over OP moves, but something where it's a lot more, well, this person's doing this, manipulates this person, which is why they acted this way towards this person, and then this why this person got shot. So definitely check it out. All links, all these animes can be found on Crunchyroll, but we're going to move on to the next anime, and this one, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely one of my favorite shonen animes. But let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. The anime that we're talking about is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Not for just Full Metal Alchemist, but Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There's 2 versions of this anime, Full Metal Alchemist and then Brotherhood, that follows a lot closely to the manga. So we're going to be talking about Brotherhood. I do recommend watching Alchemist, but you know, Brotherhood to me is just superior in almost every way. There's just one scene where Alchemist just gets it just a little bit better than Brotherhood. But besides the point, this anime is about 2 brothers who live in a world where equivalent exchange rules all. In order to receive something, you must give something with equal value. And boy, do these brothers learn the harsh way by trying to bring back someone they truly love, but in return cost them very dearly. Now, they're on a quest to retrieve what was taken from them and go back to their normal lives. But along the way, they had turns out they're in the middle of a war between different nations and a corrupt government who real ringleader is actually probably deep underground, pulling the strings to what's happening within the government, and not the so-called king himself. So this anime is a lot different in the other animes in aspect that the main character, who is, well, to me the main character is not just one main character, it's actually the 2, it's the brothers. They are the main characters, Alphonse and Edward Elric. You know, Alphonse is the guy in the suit and Edward's the little short dude. But what's important to note is that this is not a quest for power, not a quest for to kill. This is not a quest for revenge. In fact, this is a quest for redemption. They're trying to redeem themselves from the horrific taboo that they committed within the world of alchemy in order to retrieve what was taken from them. So they're going to, you know, it's a lot of more of internal growing than external powers being built up. You know, they're not turning Super Saiyan. They're not retrieving a powerful. They are trying to retrieve a powerful artifact called the Philosopher's Stone, but they are not trying to power up for the sake of plot. In fact, they are meeting new people, making new connections, and growing internally to where they are completely different than they were when they first started their journey. So, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, it was about 50 episodes, so it's not too long. It is on a longer side than, say, 10 episodes or 20 episodes, but it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're interested into a lot of scientific things and a little bit more about world politics. So let's go ahead and move on to our next anime, and this one's a little bit more, let's just say, magical. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so Fairy Tail, the most magical shonen anime of all time, and one of my favorite animes. And the reason for that is because it's crazy, it's funny, it's lighthearted, and it's not One Piece. Yeah, One Piece is a good anime to a lot of people. I'm probably going to make them butthurt. But Fairy Tail is in that sweet spot where it's long, but it's not 700 episodes long. It does have a lot of cliche stuff with the main character always saving the day or blah blah blah, becoming OP. However, all the other main characters, or the other characters I would say, are also very interesting. Natsu is the main character, but he's also not annoying. He's not a shrimp. He always wants to fight. He doesn't care if you're more powerful than him. He will fight you. He doesn't give a shit. He'll fight you. I don't care. He'll fight you. So that's what I love about Natsu. He'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, because that's what he loves to do. He loves to fight. He's not going to back down from a challenge. He will always take it. He knows someone's more powerful, and he'll do whatever it takes to beat their butts. But the overarching story of this anime is quite long. It has arcs, like a lot of longer anime has an arc. You have the Fairy Tail opening arc, and then maybe you'll have a tournament arc, which every famous shonen anime that's long has a tournament arc of some kind. So if you're like Magic and you like a lot of fighting and powering up, but also don't have a shrimpy character, then Fairy Tail is definitely going to be the anime for you. So I highly recommend it. But let's go ahead and move on to our last anime that we're talking about. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've covered 4 freaking anime. And it's time for our last one. And this one's, let's just say, roll the clip, roll the clip.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
Is that recording?
Nope. Oh, that was a close one. Good thing you didn't know my name was Shaka. But the anime that we are looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is Death Note, the last shonen anime that I would recommend for you newbies. The reason I recommend this anime is because it is intense with the drama and the intelligence of these characters. We follow our main person, wannabe god, Light Yagami. Okay, he's bored and he's super smart. Those two things do not mix well, however, it does make an excellent plot. One day he just walks outside and he sees a notebook on the ground, and it's called Death Note. I know, same title as the anime, a little weird. And in this notebook holds the power to kill anyone. You can kill anyone with this notebook. You only need one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that is their real name. If you know their name, you can kill them. You can even say how you would kill them. However, the notebook does have limitations. Their death must be feasible, as in, if someone is in California and you say they have to jump off the Eiffel Tower, they cannot jump off the Eiffel Tower, hence their death just results within a heart attack. So you can have them do certain things, walk a certain way, act a certain way before they die. So you pretty much are a death god with this, or a Shinigami, and that is exactly who owns these death notes, or Shinigamis. Shinigamis use these death notes in order to gain life. Even a Shinigami can die. However, with using their death notes, it prolongs their life even more. Also, these Shinigamis still have certain rules that they have to follow. They cannot interact directly within the human world, as in they cannot actually influence someone's death or any of that. However, for this Shinigami Ryuk decided that he was bored and wanted to have a little fun. So he dropped this notebook at some random place, and Light just happened to be the person to pick him up. And from that point on, Light knew that he had to get rid of the scum of the earth, and that are criminals. So he goes on a mass killing spree, which then opens up a huge plot point and leads to very, very strange and awesome adventure that Light goes on. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like strange, awesome adventures that involve death notes and shinigamis and people who want to kill criminals and will also become somewhat insane later, then this is the anime for you. It doesn't follow the traditional, someone's powering up, someone's already OP. He can kill anyone with flipping writing their name within a damn notebook at any time, making them have a heart attack, kill themselves, or whatever. So, if you like this type of intellectual property here, then I recommend Death Note. So, we've covered 5 anime, all completely different from each other in almost every way. We covered JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Durararararara, Fairy Tail, Full Metal Alchemist, and lastly, Death Note. These anime are not in any particular order of better or worse. These are just 5 shonen anime that I recommend because that's what I do. So next time we meet, ladies and gentlemen, within the anime scene, we'll be looking at my 5 mecha anime. That's right, 5 mecha anime that you should start off with that are not in the Gundam series. Gundam tends to, I don't want to say dominate, but everyone thinks mecha, they think Gundam. So I'm going to give you 5 mecha anime that are not Gundam, but are just as good, if not even better, than Gundam. Thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this type of video. Hit the subscribe button down below to get more videos like this if you really enjoy these type of videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.